All right. We had to collect ourselves there with the Wild jumping into the Minnesota sports fun, trading for Marc-Andre Fleury. But boys, let's get back into statements here, Mackey and Judd, and I'll start us off here with this first statement that sets the scene. We are about to embark on the biggest week of Timberwolves basketball since 2004. And I know people are going to be like, well, what about that playoff series against the Rockets a few years ago, or the game 82 against the Nuggets? And that was never sustainable. The coach was always going to get fired. Tom Thibodeau was never here for the long haul. Jimmy Butler was about to burn everything down. And so that was such a joyless run of Timberwolves basketball that I almost think we have to just sweep it away and under the rug. This is the gateway of multi-year contention that the Timberwolves are standing at right now. They took care of a Giannis-less Bucks team, as they should have at home, and now they're staring at, starting tonight, the Dallas Mavericks, just a game up in the standings. The Wolves are now the 6th seed, by the way, because the Nuggets got trounced by the Celtics yesterday. Mm-hmm. So Dallas tonight on the road, Phoenix on Wednesday night at home, Dallas at the Target Center on Friday night again, and then at Boston on Sunday. They also have games at Toronto, Denver to wrap the stretch. But these 4 games over the next week, biggest week of Timberwolves basketball in 17 years. Fight me.
No. Hell no. Are you kidding? Fight you on that? Yes, you are correct. You're absolutely right. And it is... I'm still having trouble comprehending at times when I watch the Wolves, especially like in the last month or so, if what I'm watching is truly the Wolves.
Yeah.
Like they are not just beating teams. They are doing it with confidence. They are doing it with a decisiveness. And look, largely I think because of the cast around him now, Cat feels more and more, and he still pulls some of the same old stuff, don't get me wrong, but he feels more and more like a different player. I think the word that I would use that I've never used for the Wolves since KG's been gone probably is emboldened. They seem emboldened. Like they're not just good, they legitimately take the court like, you know what, we probably should kick your ass, and oh, by the way, we're going to.
There's a little word called swag, as Anthony Edwards pointed out 100 times in a post-game press conference last week.
You're right. Print the T-shirts.
Dude,
Print
it is.
the
Actually,
T-shirts.
You know what? Get the flag. I know you don't have the flag.
Get the flags.
Okay.
Hold on. Everyone gets flag. Imaginary flags. Pop the shirts. Get the flags. Pop the surleys. Do whatever you have to do.
So this is, and who knows, maybe if they go belly up somehow, this is where my Wolves mind still goes a little bit. I've got like Wolves post-traumatic stress syndrome, where I look at these games, I'm like, oh man, if they can just go like 1-3, maybe they can sneak one out here. But they're better than that, man. They are legitimately. All right, sorry, I'm piling statements here, I guess. I think the Timberwolves are the 5th best team in the Western Conference, minimum, right now. I know they are 6th in the standings. I know they are behind Dallas, and I think nationally people would still say, well, Dallas has a higher profile. They've been relevant for longer. But if you look at the Timberwolves, full-strength Timberwolves, since the All-Star break and since the first of the year, they're crescendoing. They're beating the crap out of teams that they ordinarily would have been in dogfights with the last couple years. And yes. I think, and maybe we'll find out over the next couple weeks, I don't think you can name 4 teams in the Western Conference that are currently definitively better than the Minnesota Timberwolves. Just going to throw that out there.
I mean, with the way that they are going currently, no. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do it again. I've sort of done this statement as fun, but I think now it's very serious. Give him the award. The executive of the year in the NBA is Gerson Rosas. He put this entire stew together. He put this entire stew in the pot, stirred it up, that then got fired because he unfortunately turned out to be a creeper. But all of that being said, look at what this guy did. And look, the Pat Bev thing was not exactly the slam dunk, of course trade. That was like a well orchestrated, I think, thought out ingredient, right? So while basically the team itself and the executives with Gerson were hating on Gerson and like, this guy's a jerk. He doesn't listen. Gerson Rosas, basketball-wise, had a plan. And if you look at where the Minnesota Timberwolves are right now, it's largely because of Gerson. And I'm telling you, the more I watch this and the more this unfolds, he legitimately should get consideration for executive of the year.
Well, he won't because he got fired. But to your point,
he deserves it.
How much of the Wolves' success is based on his vision? I mean, a lot of it, right?
A ton, yes. That's my point.
What has Gupta done? And I'm not saying that he's not capable or qualified, but they didn't make moves at the deadline. All of the moves that were made to construct this roster, Pat Beverly, those were made by Gerson, right? So it's kind of crazy that now, if you're him, don't be a creep behind the scenes and treat people better, and maybe you could have still had this job and have seen this thing through. So I hope you're not sitting here trying to like exonerate him and say that he should still be. Thanks for building it, but
I'm saying he deserves the
people
award
better, and you can live in the house longer, right?
Well, if he hadn't had the relationship on the side, I don't think he gets fired. I think he gets in some trouble. But I am saying that I think he's a consultant with the Knicks now, right?
Is he?
Gerson Rosas. Yeah. I think he got a job consulting, which is hilarious. I think Gerson Rosas deserves serious consideration because, yes, this was his team. And look, there are some really good guys here, players. I mean, Ant is great. Cat can be great, has been great. But if you really look at the thought process to sort of like the behind-the-scenes chemistry experiment, right? This team has not been like this since 2004, 2005, chemistry-wise.
In terms of like executive and coach of the year, usually like the first place that voters look are, who made the biggest jump. So who was the garbage team that turned into a competitive team, or if it's a team that's just like Phoenix, they're just gangbusters at the top of the standings. Those are kind of the two categories. Well, for a while, I think in terms of coach of the year, I think J.B. Bickerstaff was at the top of the list because Cleveland at one point was like the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. Yes. Now Cleveland is fighting to stay ahead of the Raptors just to stay out of the play-in. So Cleveland's going to get into the play-in, but I think the landscape for coach of the year has changed quite a bit. Like right now, I think it's Chris Finch. I think J.B. Bickerstaff and Chris Finch are kind of neck and neck, but for executive of the year, if Gerson was still in that front office running things, he would get it. Yes.
Yes. And I'm just saying I would cast my vote for a guy who got fired.
It's hilarious. Oh my God. All right, Declan, statement.
Yeah, my Wolves statement is thank goodness we trusted the process. Because about 8 months ago, 6-8 months ago, when the Ben Simmons stuff started to brew, we were coming up with trade ideas. The Wolves were even looking at was looked at as favorites to possibly get Simmons from Vegas odd bettors. And ever since the Wolves didn't make that move and they get off to their poor start, they start 4-9 to begin the season. And since then, they've been on a roll. They've been 38-21. Only the Suns have a better winning percentage in the Western Conference than that. Cat is putting it all together. D'Lo has turned his entire game around, especially defensively. And Edwards has been banged up, too, over this last few weeks, and they've still been figuring out ways to win games. Your core guys, Vanderbilt, Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, Malik Beasley, Threesley, I should say, finally finds his shot, right? This is legitimately the most complete and put-together Wolves team since KG, Spree, and Cassell. And I know that there was a lot of horrible Wolves teams in the middle of that, so kind of hard to really parse through what would even be the third best roster there. Yeah. But it's the most complete Wolves team we've seen in a while, and for this Minnesota sports team to finally get a good basketball team that's worth rooting for professionally, this is an awesome moment for Minnesota sports. I love that the Wolves are on a roll.
Yeah, like you're seeing at Target Center too, with the neon green noisemakers and just the people that are packing into the arena. Mark Lowry and his rich friends like Bobby Flay sitting courtside, taking their shoes off when the Wolves, take an 18-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go. Shoes off, game's over. I love it. I love standing at the beginning of the game. There's an actual atmosphere and there's an actual vibe that shows you this is a basketball state. I know it's the state of hockey, but it's just as much, if not more, of a basketball state we've just been given no options to,
look at the talent
sink our teeth into. Yeah.
in this town. I mean, the basketball talent now is off the charts. Yeah, it's great. And the swagger that exists now on the floor and off is really cool.
Yeah.
It's a great vibe.
Another Wolf statement for you guys. Most of the league and the national media still sleeping on the Timberwolves. I was just this weekend, I'm looking for podcast options, doing house chores and different things, right? So let me pop a 30-minute podcast on. So I did a search into Spotify and Apple. And first of all, there's outside of the wonderful Dane Moore NBA podcast and Mackey and Judd pops up when you search Timberwolves. There's not a lot going on out there outside of there's local Wolves podcasts. I mean, national media talking about the Timberwolves.
Sure.
And so the Ringer NBA show a couple days ago with Raja Bell. They were talking about in the title it said Timberwolves discussion. Oh wow, look at this, the Ringer NBA show talking Timberwolves. So I go into the description. At the 28-minute mark was their Timberwolves discussion, and the next topic started at the 31-minute mark. So we got 3 minutes of Timberwolves discussion here. I'll take what I can get. Let me jump in here. So I click play at the 28-minute mark. And I can't remember Raja Bell's co-host's name, but he says, "Hey, how about the Timberwolves? They're great. I mean, look at what they're doing. What would you guess their record is?" And Raja Bell shuts the entire conversation down and says, "We're not talking about the Timberwolves. I only talk about the teams that matter." I think this is a prevailing sentiment still around the league, and even with just national basketball talking heads that are paid to talk about basketball.
Yeah,
they either can't believe what's happening or people are still sort of punishing the Wolves, maybe rightfully so, for how irrelevant and embarrassing they've been for almost 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to earn their coverage, I guess, is what I'm saying, over the next week, and then more importantly, once they get into the actual playoffs.
That's the key. That's the key. I think that they
Earn your
need to,
coverage.
yes, and win around or go down fighting, right? So Cat, the thing is you can't start the playoffs and some calls go against Cat. And now what's going on? And then he's being clowned by TNT. So you literally have to, when the playoffs start, you don't have to win a round, but you damn certain better show up, and everybody shows up and everybody battles. Because I think the problem is the Wolves, and they're getting past this now here, but the key is playoffs nationally. The Wolves aren't taken as a serious entity because I don't think, once Pat Bev shows, it's going to help a lot. But that has to be Ant, who I think will, Cat for sure. But, drop the moaning and groaning, the woe is me, I got fouled, why didn't I get that call? And seriously, kick some butt. Be tough.
Can I throw an impromptu
Don't
write
fight.
that down prediction out?
Yeah.
I think I have a feeling what's going to happen in these next 4. So the stretch is a 6-game stretch, but for just this week, I feel like I have a pretty good read on what's going to happen. So I want to go on the record here.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to pick the next 4 games.
Okay.
I think the Wolves beat Dallas tonight in Dallas.
Yep.
I think they lose at home to Phoenix. I think they beat Dallas again on Friday night. I think they're going to beat Dallas twice this week.
Whoa.
But then I think they get beat in Boston. Boston's ridiculous right now.
Yeah, what's
Boston
happened to
just
Boston?
Clobbered the Nuggets.
Boston was awful to start the season, and now they're just fantastic.
Yeah. So the next 4 games they're going to beat Dallas twice, but lose to the Suns and to the Celtics. And honestly, that's fine. If you can beat Dallas twice and then hold your own in some of these other games and show some fight, then I think you could still potentially stay out of the playing game. All right, so
I'd prefer that they beat the Suns and lose one to the Mavs, just because I think at home against a team that good, it would send a statement.
But for standings purposes, you'd rather beat the Mavericks twice.
Right.
So
but I'm just saying for the
that
bravado, the swag, the bravado. Take that, Phoenix.
I get you. I hear
Monty
you.
Williams, your team's good, but you know what? We just beat you.
I got a bone to pick with that Ringer producer for putting Wolves conversation in the headline. Was it in the headline?
Yes.
Wow.
I got. I'm CCing the Ringer right now. That is inappropriate headline.
This is
It was.
You know what
That's
this
not
is?
okay.
It was
This is
a multi-part headline, but they were definitely in the headline, and they
This is
only
a
talked
cheap
Bulls for 3 minutes. They
ploy
didn't
by
really talk
you to try and get a job there.
I wouldn't mind working there. Yeah,
Exactly. That's exactly what this is. I wouldn't have done that. I'm Declan Goff. I produce better than your producer. All right.
Amazing.
To me?
Yes.
To you.
All right. Statement about the Minnesota Twins, who all of a sudden are relevant, all of a sudden are fun to talk about. But I'm going to have a statement right now that's going to make them more fun and really is the next logical progression after the Correa agreement on Saturday morning. Make your pitch is my statement. The Twins need to take one more step at least, but it's an important one. So it's probably the last big step in what looks like going in for 2022, which I appreciate. And that is you add from the A's either Manaea or Montas, and that one takes you from okay, we're in, but we're not all in pitching-wise to all in. That's going to be a substantial trade. That might include Royce Lewis, Austin Martin, not all of them, but one. My point is, if you're going to go this far in for a year of Carlos Correa, which is awesome and should be fun, then you know what? Go all in. And that means taking the next uncomfortable step, which is not just writing a big check for a player, but it includes trading away a prospect to get pitching that you have desperately been in need of.
How would you feel about Johnny Cueto instead?
Yeah.
This there's Mike Rodriguez from Univision.
Yes.
Frankie Montoya intrigues me.
He's reporting
Not Johnny Cueto, though, huh?
Johnny Cueto could be signing with the Twins in the next few hours, according to a source.
And he has also Hector Gomez from ESPN or from MLB Insider. Hector Gomez tagged in that as well.
What's Johnny Cueto got left?
I mean, he's not been good the last few
That's
years.
what I thought.
He's crafty. He was better last year than the previous 2 years, but
I don't want crafty.
He'd be like a number 4, number 5 starter. If he's replacing Randy Dobnak and they add Frankie Montas,
oh yeah,
and now your rotation is Frankie Montas, Sonny Gray,
yes,
Joe Ryan, Bailey Ober, and Johnny Cueto, and you just added Joe Smith. By the way, it's the second time a Minnesota sports team has signed Joe Smith. Hopefully, this is all above board. But Joe Smith is a really good veteran, 37-year-old right-handed reliever, so he helps your bullpen. So, like, those are the. I mean, my statement is, you're all in now. Yeah. You just traded for Sonny Gray and you signed Carlos Correa. Why stop it? If the A's ask for Royce Lewis, man, I'd rather trade. I think I'd rather trade somebody else because I still think there's hope for Royce Lewis to become a franchise player. Plus, you're going to need a shortstop after 2022 because Carlos Correa is probably going to sign an 8-year contract.
Martin can play
somewhere.
shortstop, right?
Yes. You're probably going to have to trade one of those two guys.
Okay. All right.
For 2 years of Frankie Montas, and I'm in too.
So I'm in.
So go get it, and then these people too, by the way, that like their immediate reaction to Carlos Correa signing was, well, can he pitch? Can he pitch? What's he going to do to help pitching? Well, actually, quite a bit. He was the best defensive shortstop in the major leagues last year. He was 20 runs saved, a plus 20 above average at his position, which was number 1 in baseball. He helps your pitchers by being a great defensive shortstop. He also helps your offense by being a stud with the bat, and it doesn't preclude the Twins from still helping their pitching in other ways. So if that was your first reaction to the Carlos Correa signing, then you were a dud. I'm sorry.
Not a stud, but a dud.
A dud, yes.
You've got now Buxton and Correa. I mean, come on. Let's not be nitpicking it. Well, it's only a year. Okay, it's a year.
And
I'd
by the way,
rather take a chance.
If this Johnny Cueto thing is legit, he's gone from he was a bat missing strikeout guy at one point earlier in his career, and now he's more of like the smoke and mirrors. 7 strikeouts per 9. He's going to have to get batted balls converted to outs. Yeah. And so there are worse places to be than standing in front of Carlos Correa, Jorge Polanco, and Byron Buxton trying to convert batted balls into outs. So, yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Okay.
I love it.
More statements.
I'll go with this one here. I told you guys that I was ready to get hurt again, on Saturday, and my season ticket, which I'm like legitimately looking into doing it. I would say it's
20-game plan or what? 25?
A 20-game plan. I'm legitimately looking into doing it.
Whereabouts?
Third baseline.
On
Lower
the
level.
tarp, just sitting on the tarp.
Yeah, just
actually,
on the tarp.
on
Lower
other
level?
side of the
Two
railing.
ducats?
Ready to rock.
2 of them?
2 of them.
Oh, I can't wait to go with you. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'll buy the
have
Surleys.
Okay, deal. I'll take your $14 beers.
I'll
Yeah,
buy that. Well, if
absolutely.
you give me a ticket.
Yeah, I can make that happen. I'll go with this one, though. The possibilities are endless, I think, with this Twins lineup. Like, I truly don't know where they're going to go with their lineup. I crafted a 1 through 9 here. This is what I would do, manager Rocco Baldelli, if I was in his shoes. This is how I would roll with the Twins lineup. I would lead off with Buxton. I'd have Buxton leading off at center.
Okay.
I'd have Polanco batting second and playing second.
The Guardy rule.
What's that?
The Guardy rule.
The Guardy rule.
You play second, you
baseman
bat second.
has to bat second.
Except for him, it was like Matt Tolbert and Nick Punto, not
Alexi
Jorge
Casilla.
Polanco.
Yeah. I have Correa at short, batting third. I actually have Alex Kirilloff in the cleanup spot in left field.
Yeah, dude.
I think if the wrist is indeed healthy, I want to see what he can do, and I trust him more as a cleanup hitter than Sano. I have Sano fifth. So that's kind of where I think Kirilloff's ready to rock, basically, and back cleanup. So I would put the cleanup spot to Kirilloff.
Okay.
Sano batting fifth at first base. I actually have Gary Sanchez DHing for my opening day lineup.
So
I have Sanchez.
Luis Arraez is, or is he playing third?
He's going to play third.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
See what I'm doing here. Sanchez batting sixth at DH.
Yep.
Kepler in right, batting seventh. I have Jeffers behind the plate, batting eighth, and then I have Arraez 9. Now I know Luis Arraez has one of the best eyes in the team, and typically probably will be batting in the one of your first 3 spots in the order. But I love having a guy to wrap around your lineup, and he is a unbelievable 9-hitter that can turn the tide right over. So actually, I have Luis Arraez batting 9th, but I wouldn't be opposed to him batting anywhere else in the lineup because this is the fun part of this lineup. There's the possibilities, in my opinion, are truly endless. So I have Buxton, Polanco, Correa, Kirilloff, Sano, Sanchez, Kepler, Jeffers, Arraez, and Arraez at third base.
Okay. I like it. Yeah, I'm not going to fight you on this. I think in general, put your 3 best hitters in the first 3 spots in the order. And I've seen some lineup iterations with like Luis Arraez batting first or second because he can get on base and make contact. But I think your goal should be to maximize the number of plate appearances for Byron Buxton, Jorge Polanco, and Carlos Correa. So those 3 guys in any order at the top. And Buxton batting leadoff makes sense. And he's not the biggest on base guy,
No.
but he gets on base enough and he hits for power. I think the question there would be if his power is going to be anywhere near what it was last year, are you wasting some of that power putting him in the leadoff spot? But these are fun problems to try and solve.
So question here, too. Does a back-to-back 5-6 of Sano and Sanchez create too much of a strikeout problem and kill too many potential
You could
innings?
you could put Kepler in that. I mean, Kepler, even though he doesn't hit for average, does have a good eye and can get on base a little bit more.
Who is going to play center when Buxton's hurt?
Well, Jay Cave is still on the 40-man roster.
This is what I told
I
you
love
guys
how you're
last
already
year.
pointing
I
out
wanted
like
Jackie
the
Bradley.
micro problem here.
It's not but the guy's always hurt. Why would you call that a mic? That is a big question mark. If I'm going
Nick
for
Gordon
it,
can play some center.
I need to be prepared. I don't like any of your answers so far.
Kyle
Jay
Garlick.
Cave.
Is Kyle
I ain't
Garlick still
calling-
on the team?
I think he is, actually. I ain't calling St. Paul for Jay Cave, okay? I want to know. In fact,
Can we just have this for 1 second before you start
Still
pointing
out
out
there.
Buxton being out for 60 games at some point?
because I got ideas.
Evening Judd here.
Still out there. Hey, listen. Sports Dad's constantly trying to find solutions. Kevin Pillar is not signed.
I am going to take a dump
Hold on.
your
You know
Twins
what?
hopes
Sponsored by
right now.
Livia.
You know
Livia
what?
Weight Control Centers.
You guys suck. Hold on a second. All right, TikTok Nation, let me tell you right now, there's a free agent out there. Kevin Pillar, good glove. Good glove. He can take the place of Byron Buxton when Buxton inevitably is out for 50 games because he usually is. Because you know what, kids? This is a go-for-it season. That's right. And drink Surly.
I love me some Kevin Pillar. How much
Kevin
money would it
Pillar
cost? Is he still a free agent?
He's still a free agent. He's
only
at
made
an independent site, I think, working out.
I'm here for that. So he could see here. He's like a $3-4 million a year guy the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So just kick him some cash. You know what would really have been nice though?
What's that?
Lamont Wade Jr. as a 4th outfielder. Late night Lamont would have been.
Late night
now
Lamont.
from Patrick Royce's favorite team, the team that he watched last year more than anybody else. I watched another Giants game last night, 4 hours, late night Lamont won it.
The bad news for the Twins is I don't think Byron Buxton falls under the category of industries that Federated Insurance protects, but they're all about risk management. They can't find you a fourth outfielder.
You're welcome.
But
I teed you up.
if you're a business owner out there, Federated's been around for over 100 years, helping to protect against risks and maximize the success of your business. Risk management webinars, MyShield, legal resources, safety walkthroughs, pandemic response plans the last couple of years, you name it. Federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours. Also, we're working with Mayo Clinic here on Mackey and Judd, too, to shine a light on men's health issues. So just know that Mayo Clinic is accepting and seeing new patients both in the Minneapolis clinic and also in Rochester, and they'll see men of all ages for any number of different male-related conditions. So don't be shy. Don't wait. Don't make the mistake of not scheduling an appointment. menshealth.mayoclinic.org. That's menshealth.mayoclinic.org. Just kind of a bonus statement here from me. It was depressing watching former Gopher basketball players and or Minnesota high school players shine during March Madness this last weekend. Mm-hmm. Gabe Kalsher dropping 20-plus points on Wisconsin.
Let's talk about Gabe. You know what? Good for Gabe. Good for Gabe. That guy couldn't hit the broadside of a barn last year, and he was great. 22 points. Now, I think he only, I want to say he actually averaged a tenth of a point fewer this year than he did for the Gophers last year. So he didn't have a great year, but good for Gabe, because when he heats up in NCAA tournament games, like he did for the Gophers in Des Moines, was that 3 years ago now? Mm-hmm. That guy can go off.
Yeah, and then this was a losing effort, but Marcus Carr hit a bunch of big shots for Texas yesterday.
Yeah,
as they were attempting to complete.
I was fine with him not being here.
A comeback. Chet Holmgren probably going to be a top 3 pick.
Oh, correct. Yeah.
And then half of Wisconsin's roster, which lost, is from Minnesota. It feels like
Declan looks fat compared to Chet.
I do.
Like, it's incredible.
He's going to have to definitely find the weight room at some point. How is he that skinny?
I don't know.
That's what I'm asking.
It's amazing.
I don't know.
He's super skilled, and he's very tall.
Yes.
7 feet tall. He's a praying mantis.
Go Cyclones.
Cyclones.
Go Cyclones. You beat the Badgers. Good for you.
All right. This is the Vikings are going to have to get their bleep together if they want to keep up with these other Minnesota sports teams and the action and the commitment to excellence and winning championships in this town.
0 statements. No. I've got some. I didn't even use them.
We're punishing them, but we will talk about them on Purple Daily, so check us out. And please click subscribe on the Score North YouTube channel and the Purple Daily YouTube channel. We're almost to 40,000. See you guys.